Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Veronica Tamayo, the last reporter in Chapter 20, Light and Architectural Lighting Systems. This time, I will discuss the last topic in Chapter 20, which is the daylighting principles. The subtopics of the daylighting principles are fundamental principles, daylight, glazing, types of glazing materials, daylighting strategies, and how much area. First, we have fundamental principle. Lighting, it is the efficient and effective use of direct, diffuse, or reflected sunlight to provide full or supplemental illumination for building interiors during hours of sunlight, and generally improves occupant comfort by providing a more pleasant, naturally lit indoor environment. Of course, nakakatipid tayo ng kuryente. Hindi natin masyadong nagagamit ang ating mga artificial lights during sunlight hours. Various studies suggest that daylighting increases worker and student productivity and reduces absenteeism. The major disadvantage of daylighting is the unpredictable availability of sunlight. The varying intensity of sunlight with passing clouds, cloud cover on a rainy day, and shading by natural features and human-made objects can affect the availability of adequate daylighting. Next, we have daylight, a combination of direct, reflected, and diffuse sunlight. It travels in a straight line path from the sun and tends to be more intense than diffuse and reflected sunlight. Glare from direct sunlight can cause discomfort when we are watching TV, working at a computer, or reading. The second one is reflected light. Strikes a surface such as a sidewalk or automobile and reflects off the surface in another direction. Because the receiving surface absorbs some sunlight before reflecting the light, a glare from reflected sunlight can cause discomfort for us. So the third one is diffuse light that has been reflected or refracted by clouds, glazing, or other objects. Most of the daylight received at the Earth's surface on a cloudy day and typically results in less glare. Is glazings. Typical performance measures for the center of glass for selected types of glazings. First, the overall coefficient of heat transfer, or U, is a measure of how easily heat travels through an assembly of materials. The lower the U factor, the lower the rate of heat transfer through the glazing and the more efficient the glazing. The overall or full window U factor of a window or skylight depends on the type of glazing, frame materials, and size, glazing coatings, and type of gas between the panes. The second one is solar heat gain coefficient, or SHGC. Is the fraction of solar heat that is transmitted through the glazing and ultimately becomes heat. This includes both directly transmitted and absorbed solar radiation. The lower the SHGC, the less solar heat is transmitted through the glazing and the greater its shading ability. The third one is visible transmittance, or VT, is the percentage of visible light that is transmitted through the glazing. When daylight in a space is desirable, glazing is a logical choice. However, low VT glazing such as bronze, gray, or reflective film windows are more logical for office buildings or where reducing interior glare is desirable. And the fourth one is Scalar gain ratio, or LSG, is the ratio between SHGC and VT of a single glazing. It provides a gauge of the relative efficiency of different glazing types in transmitting daylight while blocking heat gains. Next is types of glazing materials. Only glass was used as a glazing material. Advantage of glass include long life, highlight transmission, hardness, and stiffness. The main disadvantage of glass is brittleness and the safety hazard that falling broken glass creates. Glass can be made more resistant to breakage by increasing its thickness, by heat treatment, and by combining it with reinforcing materials such as wire or a plastic film. During the past 20 years, plastic glazings have become an alternative to glass. Glass and plastic can be combined in a composite to minimize the limitations of each. Glass is used for the outer sheet, where it can provide considerable protection to the plastic, while the inner plastic sheet protects against glass breakage. So next one is daylighting strategies. A basic daylighting strategy is to increase the number and size of glaze areas in the walls or ceilings of a building, but simply using large glaze openings does not ensure good daylighting. The following are the common daylighting strategies, which are windows, skylights, light pipes, fabric roof membranes, and reflected light shelves. First, we have uh, windows. The main functions of windows are to bring in daylight and fresh air and introduce a view of the outdoors. Windows located in walls of a building are the most common method of introducing daylight into the interior building's spaces. Fenestration is a design term that describes window size, arrangement, and glazing type, the glass and coatings used in the windows. So, window system is a fenestration arrangement in an upper story wall that extends above one roof's surface. It introduces daylight into the ceiling area of the space. A fenestration arrangement of several smaller windows can provide uniform daylight illumination if properly distributed in the space being illuminated. A large window area tends to overlighty and produce spotty lighting. So next, we have skylight. Skylight is a transparent panel located in a roof opening that allows direct and diffuse sunlight into the building. A roof monitor is a type of skylight system that is a raised, typically triangular shape, extension of a roof and that has at least one glazed surface. Skylights are effective for many industrialized and maintenance operations. Warehousing can be a favorable application. They can be used to provide a sense of natural ambience, which is valuable in applications such as restaurants, transportation centers, and other public areas. The disadvantage of skylights is the large fluctuations in illumination intensity caused by movement of clouds across the sun. Skylights are less likely to be satisfactory where reading tasks occur, as in offices, drafting areas, and reading rooms. Broad fluctuations of sunlight intensity are more noticeable in applications that require concentration on text. Next, we have reflective light shields. A light shelf is a passive architectural element or mechanism that allows sunlight to enter deep into a building. They can be a separate element or mechanism, or can be an integral part of the building structure. Exterior light shelves may also function as overhangs that shade the window from the high summer sun. Examples include light shelves suspended by stainless cables, fabric light shelves stretched over metal tubes, and assemblies of commercially available components created by ceiling manufacturers. So this one is the example of reflective light shelves. So next we have lights consists of an exterior roof-mounted transparent dome, a reflecting metal pipe, and a diffuser for installation at the ceiling level of the space. The pipe may be rigid or flexible. Flexible pipes are easier to install, but they suffer more light loss from increased light absorption from reflection and scatter on the inside surface of the pipe wall. A sun tracking light pipe is a type of light pipe that has a movable mirror or light refracting system, and that can be used to align the incoming sunlight with the axis of the light pipe, thereby minimizing reflection losses. And their disadvantage is that they lose effectiveness if the sky does not remain clear and need for occasional maintenance. The next we have fabric roof membranes. Fabric roof membranes can be used to introduce daylight through the roof itself. On clear days, these roof membranes virtually eliminate the need for indoor artificial lighting. The main use for fabric structures has been for sports stadiums, shopping malls, harbors, and airports. This one is the Denver International Airport. So fabric structures may be divided into two categories, which are tension and air supported. Air supported structures use a membrane supported by air pressure to act as the roof and walls of the structure. And then the second one is tension structures use a membrane supported by a cable to act as the roof of a structure. So next we have how much area. Outdoor sunlight from a clear sky produces an illuminance of about 6,000 FC or 6,000 lumens. When illuminance with an intensity of 6,000 FC is cast over an area that is 100 times greater, it results in an illuminance of 60 FC or 600 X. Unacceptable intensity for general lighting tasks. So in theory, clear sky sunlight can be distributed to adequately light an area that is 100 times greater than the area of captured light. So next is for may pakita kong video, short video about daylighting.
In progress.
Okay, so we all know that windows can provide a great view, right? But if they're placed in the right locations, they can also save you money on your utility bill. And they can help keep you more comfortable at home or work. It's called daylighting, and it takes a simple concept to a new level. Daylighting combines lots of things. Everything from the type of window, window placement, and interior design to control how sunlight comes in. They all work to maximize benefits from natural sunlight. Check this out. Windows that face south are best in the U.S. They let in the most light in the winter months, but little direct sun during the summer, keeping the inside cooler. North-facing windows are also good for daylighting. They let in even natural light with little glare and little summer heat. Windows that face east and west don't work nearly as well for daylighting. They do provide lots of light in the morning and afternoon, but it often comes with lots of glare and excess heat during the summer months. Have a look at this energy-efficient office building. The windows team up with skylights to provide most of the light you need. Notice the light color of the ceiling. It reflects and enhances the daylight so that it fills the room. And what about all the overhead lights? Most of the time, you don't need them. To account for glare, this office building placed hoods outside around the windows. The hoods also cut down on summer heat, keeping the office cooler and more comfortable. On the inside, louvers or tinting reduce glare and also direct light to reflective surfaces inside, allowing plenty of natural light to come into work areas. One big help to daylighting is the window technologies available today. Windows are now way more energy efficient. They insulate while still letting the light you want in. And have a look at this. It's an electrochromic window. This special window changes with the brightness of the sunlight outside. As the sun tracks across the sky, it darkens to keep excess heat out. It's like giant polarized sunglasses. Daylighting can have a positive effect. Studies have shown that with good daylighting at the office, productivity goes up and absenteeism goes down. And that's good for the bottom line. Natural lighting and heating means you use less electricity and lower your utility bill. And the more natural lighting, the more money you can save.
End of my report. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.